All right. Am I an anti-capitalist? I would say yes. Yes, I am. I am an anti-capitalist. I would say that, yeah, the system that we have is bad. Yeah. Carbon emissions and all that other business, That's why I support China. But of course, people say, oh, China's capitalist too. And uh, it's funny to me, and I've played this game too, and I will probably still play this game because so many ideologies, they have so many cringe LARPers. But I saw this guy, I'm just going to name him. I know this nigga's not watching me, but this guy, the Cavernacle, if y'all have heard of this dude, this guy, the Cavernacle, is another one of these guys who makes videos about exposing the far right and making fun of it and all that business. This guy's got 29,000 subscribers, nearly 30K. And yet this guy's bringing in like 7.4K on a video, or bringing in maybe 31,000. Okay, I'll give it to him on that one from 6 days ago. 8.1 thousand on this video on the problem with ethics in games and games journalism isn't SJWs, but it's capitalism. The rise of Western chauvinism. The thing is, to me, is that when you do all this, my far right is coming at you, the more you do that, the more you give them power. The more you're going to say, we're getting more people every day. The thing is, this is the same type of thing. I'm going to give this as a older millennial as I am, but it's the same type of thing when people said that Eminem was a hateful person, everything else, back when the Marshall Mathers LP came out. That's his technically third album. And you know what that helped to do? All that writing, all the, the GLAAD, Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation, and all this other shit started to come out. The MTV News documentary, etc., etc. You know what happened? He sold 10 million CDs. Now, this is, like I said, this is back in 1999, right? He went diamond. He sold 10 million CDs because of that. By saying things like, my words are like a dagger with a jagged edge. I stab you in the head whether you're a fag, a les, a homosex, a math, or a trans, a vest, pants, a dress, hate fags, the answer's yes. For saying shit like that, he ended up getting 10 million people to buy his CD. That's the whole thing, man. That doesn't mean, you should ignore fascism or whatever, but it's like, and then of course, I tested him a little bit. I was trolling him. I was, but it was, it's very unfortunate, man. I try not to go at that level, but it's like this, he was a smaller dude, only had about 100 people watching. And then it slowly went down, went back up a little bit. And then, of course, he's at the end, being the angler that he is. He's just like, oh, if the trolls come back, I'm just gonna mute them. Well, I can't really do. That's more of a northern accent, but yeah. If the trolls come back, I'm going to mute him. It's just so funny to me, And he was everything I thought he was, in the sense of, am I pro Assad? No, I'm not pro Assad, and all this sort of stuff. I get it. I was trolling him. It was petty of me, but you know what? I did it anyway. Because I've seen this dude around a little bit, but it's like, I never really wanted to watch his shit because I'm like, I don't have the mental capabilities anymore to sit through that bullshit. And you could say I'm retarded. That's fine. But it's funny to me seeing these types of goobers out there still promoting this sort of stuff. And then you ask them, well, what are your prescriptions? What should be done about capitalism? He goes on this rant about capitalism, how evil it is. And America's a country. Yeah, it is. It is. But you know what? I'm still keeping the faith. I'm still keeping the faith that I'm going to survive in this country. Whereas a nigga like you living in the UK, you just talking this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Still so worried about Nazis and everything else. It's like, come on, man. National Socialist movement doesn't exist anymore. They were taken down. After 2016. Actually, excuse me, after 2017. You know, his former leader Jeff Shep is now, an anti-racist. You got people like, Picciolini, this and that, right? You got, all these folks working in de-radicalize and to expose the far right. You got all these motherfuckers doing it, and yet it's still rising somehow. White folks supposed to be dying out in this country, and yet niggas is still worried about some imagined fascism. I don't get it. I'm going to be honest. I don't get this shit. I don't get this shit where it's kind of typical of the way this system works, but it's like you could throw all the fucking money in the world at it, but it still doesn't fix the problems. You can get, every high school in a small town a laptop, and their SAT scores are still going to be shit. You know what I'm saying? So it just makes me upset when I see this type of shit. And it's like, and when you ask them what's to be done, what's their prescription for what should happen, I don't know. And this is typical. Like I say, man, I'm sure this nigga probably going to see this video and start going off. Who knows? He probably won't. But you know what? I don't give a fuck. Actually, I do. I must give a fuck because I'm sitting here making a video about it. But, I try to avoid this bullshit because it's not worth talking with motherfuckers like this. The debate shit is going beyond, all this sort of bullshit. It's going out the fucking window. You know what I'm saying? It's going out the fucking window. And I'm just going to say it. Fuck it. I'm just going to say it. I am an accelerationist. I believe that you just got to keep on letting the system happen. I would say get your vest. Before you, I'm going to say this. I'm going to be straight up Fed posty, but I'm going to say it. Get you a vest. Get you a fucking helmet. Get you some goggles. And learn how to drive defensively. Save your water. That's far more important than ever getting a gun. I'm going to tell you that right now. Straight up. Protecting yourself. Being as unnoticeable as you can. Keeping your distance from bullshit is far better than having a gun. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not just saying that'd be coping. But it's like, look, I can't shoot worth shit. I'll be honest with you. To me, it's far more important to protect yourself and learn how to observe a situation than ever put yourself in that harm's way. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, when you see motherfuckers like this continuing to research the far right and whatnot, they're just circle jerking. They just circle jerking. That's all they're doing. You go ahead and fight fascism all you want to. Go ahead. But the thing is, though, you ain't going to go out there in the streets. We know that. People like Vosh ain't going to go out there in the streets. You know damn well Justin King's old ass, he ain't going to go out in the streets. Hell, I know I'm not going to go out in the streets. Once again, I'm going to be honest with you. They're not going to go out in those rural areas, where people are cooking shit up. People are so worried about my far right. They have to keep on bringing it up. The more you bring it up, more people are going to say, what's this all about? Now, if you want to say my analogy at the beginning is bullshit, go ahead. But the thing is that you can be anti-capitalist and still believe that I was going to say something else that's cringe, but, and believe that, you're going to have to learn to play the game at hand. Meaning if you, I'm going to give in. I'm going to agree with the anti-China motherfuckers that will simultaneously have the big brain niggas sort of idea of hating the U.S., but then also hating China. Is I'm going to have to learn to play the game with China. So I'm not going to be that anti-China, man. I'm not going to be. Do I have disagreements? Yeah, I do. But guess what? If they provide me with money or they provide me with whatever, then shit, You know what? I might as well just be Fed. If I'm going to go Fed post, I'm going to go full on Fed post. But guess what? I'm going to make deals with the Chinese and say, ni hao, she shi ni. She shi ni ni de chen. Yeah. Thank you for the money. I don't know if I said that, but oh well. Yeah. She shi ni ni de chen. Thank you for the money. Spasiba rubli, as the Russians would say. Thank you for the rubles, man. I'll make my money. Does that mean I support capitalism? Mm-hmm. The thing is that, this is one of the biggest problems with MLs, is they don't like to admit that they've got to exchange currency and, make that sort of, dirty dealings so that they can make their way, because the thing is, you can still be anti-capitalist and yet have to play to the to play to the capitalist game. People go on and on about, Henry Ford, and will ignore that Ford Motor Company helped Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union. And I know that comes from Sutton and everybody hates him because he's a lowbird. Okay, fine. But guess what? They had to play the game. It's the same thing with the Koch brothers. They had to play their game. Stalin had to play the game too. Once again, Fred Koch, their father, worked with Nazi Germany and Soviet Union. It's one of those things, isn't it? The thing is that there's a lot of folks who don't want to take a side. And I understand you don't want to take a side, but eventually you're going to have to choose a side. And like I say, you're not going to agree with every motherfucker that's in there. Absolutely not. But you know what? You know that if you go out there, another motherfucker going to kill you. So you stay loyal because of that. Some people say that's fear through, loyalty through fear or whatever. But guess what? It works. Maybe I'm just going full on schizo here, but I don't give a fuck at this point. It just makes me mad when I see bitch ass niggas. We're just going in. When I see bitch ass niggas who want to say some shit like, well, I'm anti-capitalist, and go on a big speech about it. And then, does he explain what should happen? No. He'll say stuff about the Soviet Union loosely, but, he'll still disagree and say that China's bad. Then I guess you don't want to get any help then. I guess so, because the thing is, look, this is always how it works. You can have a destabilization in one part of the world and another place is stabilized. That's the balance of the world. It's that fucking simple. So you can have a country like the United States that breaks apart. Yeah. But you're going to have a China that's somewhat stable so that whoever needs it is going to get Chinese supplies or Russian supplies. Whatever those may be. Maybe they're old AK-74s. Maybe there's some Norinco firearm, whatever, But it's just, I don't know. I realize, though, libs know 1975, you're right. I got to stop engaging with goofy ass niggas like this. Goofy motherfuckers like this are not worth my time. I got my own opinions. I should just stick to my own little world. That's kind of sanitized away from all this shit. And that's what I should do. That's what I should do, and not worry about these goofy motherfuckers that really ain't saying nothing. They'll say they're against the U.S., but then they'll say, I don't like Assad, though. Okay, well, then you're full of shit, my nigga. Ironically, I think that a lot of these folks are the new third positionists. They're the new cringe third positionists, because that word is so misused anyway, but it's like, we're like, well, we're not with the ANCAPs. We're not with them or the neo-libs who like capitalism, but we're not with the tankies who want, or They see tankies as red fascists anyway. As Vosh has said, he said it out loud. We don't identify with them either. We needed some sort of middle road. And that's really what it is, isn't it? These are the new third positionists. These are the new folks who want, the liberal notions to make everybody happy, and we're gonna, accept homosexuality, and we're gonna accept all these nice things. Oh yes, we're gonna accept all these things, and people can do whatever the fuck they want, apparently to a degree, but we don't want the authoritarianism that the Soviet Union had, and we don't want the evil capitalist thing. Can't we just find a middle ground? That's really what the fuck it is. They want they want to have their cake and eat it too. They don't want to give up their, hell, I'm just going to say it, libertine ideas, not even liberal, but libertine ideas of, screw it, I'm not going to explain libertine. They don't want to give up their libertine ideas, but they also don't want to give up their iPhone, as people like Vosh have said, right? But then they want socialism in some form, co-ops. Yeah. I think it's funny to me too, seeing Hakeem talk with Professor Wolf. And to me that goes to show just how much people have sold out to me. When you talk to Professor Wolf, that shit's getting bad. I don't really care about Professor Wolf, who just some old man talking about co-ops, this and that. He can go ahead and say what he wants to, and he'll praise China too, to a point, but he's not gonna, like I say, man, it's just, I don't know, man. I I try not to put my faith into all these sorts of fools, Maybe I'm the true, maybe I'm the truest fucking anarchist, in the sense, like, no gods, no masters, bro. I don't, how many people do I praise on here? How many? How many people do I praise? You see me praising? It's like, yeah, I like some aspects of Malcolm X, but you don't see me go on and on about it, because guess what? The brother was for black folks. He wasn't for dumb crackers like me. So the thing is, man, is you get these goofy, that's just what pissed me off most. Is my solution is this, is to continue to let this system fall apart. And I've said 40 to 50 years, but I can adjust that. I'm fairly loose on that, but I'll say 40 to 50 years, let this country slowly break apart. And then China and Russia can go ahead and supply whoever they want to. Much as the same way as Cuba went in and helped in the Bush Wars, fighting the Boers and Afrikaners, right? Or the Soviets helping Afghanistan. Or help, more specifically, helping Najibullah's rule. Go ahead. But that's the way the system works. This is how revolutions work. The thing is that the bitch ass niggas, I'm just gonna say, these bitch ass niggas who say this shit like, we don't even need a revolution. The far right is a problem and everything else, but it's not really. Ultimately, you get down to their core, that they don't really give a fuck about these things. Is that they just want the Nazis to go away. Just go away, Nazis. Please go away. We don't want to see you. Please don't. That's really all it is. That's what a lot of these niggas are about. They're going to talk about the same 5 motherfuckers that they always talk about. Stefan Molyneux, who isn't even online anymore. Or he's on like BitChute probably. They're talking about a nigga like him. They're talking about motherfuckers like, Steven Crowder or any of these other motherfuckers. These same motherfuckers that everybody talks about because it's a fucking circle jerk. Because they want to get fucking views. I can't stand motherfuckers like that. And I've been on and on about it. And I fell into the trap. I'm sorry. But you can't work with bitch niggas like this. Who just fantasize and live in ideal land where it's just like, well, who give the same old bullshit takes by saying, oh, well, automation would be good if it wasn't under capitalism. Well, yeah, no fucking shit. How the fuck do you expect something to change then? These, like I say, and of course they'll be like, well, McCurds are good folks. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. Fuck the Kurds. The Kurds should have integrated. They should have integrated into Iran or Syria, And I know people are going to say, oh, but the Syrians persecuted them. I'm sure. You know what? I don't give a fuck. I don't even care. You should have learned to play the game. It's that simple. But honestly, man, my prescription is I'm going to join who I have to join. It's just there's too many goofy LARPy motherfuckers right now. And I'm going to wait till the real motherfuckers come out. All right? So I am anti-capitalist. I'm not going to go into detail about that shit, but guess what? When worst comes to worst, my peoples, not necessarily meaning racial, come first. But that's all I have to say, man. I'm so sorry for y'all having to listen to this bullshit again. Like, man, Uncle Thomas, please stop talking to these niggas. And you're right. I should stop dealing with niggas like that because they're not worth my time. They really aren't. I need to stop giving them some ammo for being trollish or whatever. Let those niggas talk this shit. Let them. I just happened to see him because I happened to look at the comments that, here's the thing. I'm going to let y'all know, how it goes. And this is kind of how, maybe I can break the cycle, but it's like this. I looked at this video who I'm probably going to show y'all online or show in a live stream, but it's a PBS documentary about the January 6th riot, okay, or the January 6th protest, whatever you want to call it. I know, the attempted, coup of the U.S. government, whatever. Okay, so I look down at this one. The Anglo-Saxons are disappearing and they're scared. I say, okay. And I think I clicked on her video, or it was another one of those motherfuckers. And I remember I clicked on her profile. And I think I happened to see him. I was like, oh, okay, I've heard of this Cavill, whatever his fucking name was. I was like, oh, okay, I remember this nigga. So I take a look at the video, and I'm like, oh, this nigga. This Anglo motherfucker who, like I say, he's like a lot of these creators, like, it's funny that these guys are there. But of course, you can tell that he was bothered because it's like, this nigga's going to ban me because I'm trolling? This nigga wants to do that because, I trolled him for what, maybe 15 minutes? You're mad at that? Man, get the hell out of here. But oh well, man. Like I say, let these niggas talk their shit. Let them. The thing is that people like me, we're going to play the game that we had to play. We're not going to just talk about it. We're going to try to be about it. Like I said, there's a lot of goofy folks out there who are taking up the mantle of anti-capitalism and think that they're going to do something. Hell, maybe I'm one of them right now. Maybe I am a LARPer. Hell, I don't care. But the thing is that I know motherfuckers like him. They can talk about the U.S. is cucked or capitalism bad. They can go ahead and say that shit all day. And say the typical bullshit of, oh, divide and conquer, this and that. Oh, nigga, you think that won't happen without capitalism? That's why I don't really care about these isms, because it's like, guess what? You can get rid of all that type of shit, where it's just like, you think, you know what? I'm just going around in fucking circles. So you know what? I'm just going to end it here. And I'm just going to put this one on the main channel. Why the fuck not? It's just loud and crazy and everything, but I don't even give a fuck. Hopefully y'all enjoy it. So see you later, and goodbye. I gotta